Hello, everyone. Oh, wait, you can't see me. There we go. Hi. It's going to use my nice little external webcam, but it doesn't seem to be working with this for some reason. So, hey, everyone. Looks like we've got 9 people waiting. Go ahead and say hi in the chat. It's been forever since I've done this, so I'm so excited. Hello, Tura. Am I saying your name right? I was pronouncing it last night. Pure Tura. Hi, Mary, Barbara, Julie. Good to see everybody. Oh, so many people are coming in. Hello, hello. Yay, I got it right. I hate mispronouncing names. So, all right. I see everybody's coming in. I'll give everybody like a couple minutes to come in and then we'll get this started because we want to get to answering these questions. You guys had a lot of questions. So I'm excited to get all of these answered. But while I guess we're kind of waiting for people to come in, I know everybody's going to ask for an update on what happened with the SUV. So yeah, it's not been a fun situation. I'll just tell you that. First and only time that I've ever broken down. If you see me looking over there, it's because I'm looking at the comments too. First and only time I've ever broken down, never had an issue, and this is a brand new SUV. It's a 2023, but I bought it in February 2024, so it's not that old. So it's in the shop, and the bad news is that they can't even see it until September 15th. So yeah, fun. I called another place that's north of here, another Ford dealership, to see if they had any availability, and they said that they are actually down a tech, and so they are not even taking appointments. So it's been a crazy ride. So I'm just taking it one day at a time right now. The Scamp is perfectly fine. The good news, like, a lot of you guys are like, well, which is better, the Scamp or the van? Well, for this situation, I would say the Scamp is definitely better because I still have my home. They towed me over to an RV park that's been absolutely fantastic. So it's nice that they were able to get me over here and I can kind of continue living in my home at least. Although I don't have my car with me, and just kind of had to empty some things out of the SUV and bring it into the Scamp. So, by the way, I forgot. I'm assuming everybody can hear me. I don't see anybody saying that you cannot. Yay, caught the lie while stopping to get gas, Matilda. Yay, Matilda. I'll be careful driving and watching this at the same time. Okay. So, someone asked, are you in Canada by any chance? No, I'm not. I am, I'm in Nevada. I was on my way to Mammoth Lakes. Finally, the weather was clearing so that it was getting cooler over there in Mammoth Lakes. Hello, everyone coming in. Thanks, Tura. Sound is good, video is good. Okay, thank you. So I left Oregon. I was in Winchester Bay forever, like a little over a month, I think, actually. And I love that place, by the way. Highly recommend it. And decided to come over to Mammoth Lakes in the Eastern Sierras, and drove all the way through 105-degree weather in Oregon, which is insane. And people are asking about Georgie. Come here. Come here. Come here. I knew you guys would ask, so I brought her over here. Come here. Come on, baby. Here she is. There's a Georgie. Say hi to everybody. I am so proud of her, guys. I've met some people over here at the RV park, and I was like, don't touch her. I don't know. I've said it a little bit on my channel. She's very scared of new people. She was abused before I ever got her. The marks on her back legs, I don't know if you guys have seen them. Where's it at? Somewhere over here. There, over here. She was burned by a cigarette by some really awful people, and so she's got a little bit of trust issues. Anyways, she loved them. She jumped in their lap. She let them pet her, which she does not ever do right away. So I'm so proud of her. She's kind of coming out of her shell with that, but it's just going to take a little time. All right, Georgie, you can come over here now. Everybody's saying hi to you. She's just sleeping over here in the blanket. Okay. So let me finish the story really quick about the RV, and then I'll get to all your questions. So, or RV, the SUV. So, went through that 105-degree weather, stayed overnight in a city, then started the next morning on my way to Mammoth Lakes and broke down. The SUV started to shake. It wouldn't accelerate, and it started to die on me. So I pulled over in a relatively safe spot. I mean, it was a major highway, but there was enough of a shoulder I could pull off, and thankfully I was safe. The whole ordeal lasted about 8 hours, so not fun. It was a very long day, but we're safe. We're good over here. So anyways, I'm excited about that. So just right now, taking it one step at a time. Got to figure out this whole situation with the SUV, and then where I'm going to go next. Okay, let's see. Just looking at the comments really quick here. Yes, Tura, she did feel safe with their kind energy. William says, wait, you left the coast of Oregon heading to Mammoth and ended up in Nevada. Look on a map, you'll figure it out. You have to go through Nevada to get back into California to Mammoth Lakes if you're coming from the north. Yeah, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Kathy says, wow, you move fast. Well, when it's 105 degrees outside, that was the highest, but it was mostly like 98 to 102. You don't want to stay in the heat too long, so you keep moving pretty fast. Also, coming over the mountains, coming north from Oregon, is a pretty long trek, and there's no cell service. There's a couple of campgrounds and stuff out there, but it was just too hot, so I had to get to some cooler weather. Kathy says, do you know what's wrong with the car? It just won't start. 5 codes came up for it. I'll leave that to probably another video, but we don't really know what's wrong with it. They won't even diagnose it until September the 15th. So I just don't know yet. I don't want to say anything, but it won't start at all. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to the questions. I have a zillion questions that you guys all submitted online. So I'm going to go through those and start with that. And then if you guys have questions over here, it's going to be a little bit chaotic because I have questions on my phone and then I have questions probably from you guys here. So I'm going to kind of go through like the first question. And then if you have like some subsequent questions related to that, let me know. But you might want to hold a little bit on a few things just because I have so many here. But feel free to ask questions about the stuff that I'm talking about right now. Okay, so let's see. Anything else really quick? Okay. All right. So the first thing we're going to start with is, well, first, I just want to say, everybody, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your kind wishes about the SUV and the travels and all of that. I really, really do appreciate it. It was a very stressful situation. And I don't know if you can tell, got a big old pimple right here. I got one over here in my nose, and I got another one over here last night, and I don't ever get pimples. So that just tells you probably how stressed I was. Okay, but we're good now. All right. So the first question is YouTube your full-time income, or are you still working a corporate job? Do you have any side hustles? Okay. So when I was off the road for a couple of years, 2020, so end of 22, so let's just say 2023 to fast forward to May 2025, I did have a corporate job. I left that job last October, and YouTube is my full-time income, and I don't have any other side hustles. This one keeps me pretty darn busy. So yeah, corporate life, not so much for me. I missed being, creative, and as you guys know, it's been a little bit of a journey with that and figuring out what I wanted to do after I came off the road before. But I think that, I transitioned everything to the kind of this simple living, slow living. Even though the Scamp is the mode of travel, or my home, if you will, my message about slow living and simple living will still continue no matter what I live in, whether it's another RV, whether it's a stationary home, whether I'm traveling and going from Airbnb to Airbnb, it will always be the same. So there's always that possibility that, I will not be in this Scamp or in a different setting. And I want to continue that because obviously I want my channel to flourish, and I want it's just it's a big thing that's happening in my life right now, where I'm really trying to simplify things, which is why I don't have any side hustles. I'm just really trying to, I don't know, have a calmer, peaceful time in my life. And, I work enough on YouTube, so that keeps me pretty darn busy. So I don't really have to do anything else. Hope that answers your question. So let's see if I have any questions related to that. Give a thumbs up, everyone. Yes, thank you so much. Life is short, make it sweet. Okay. Tara, you just told on yourself. I can't see it. Tell me what you mean by that. By the way, Tara, I'm making you a moderator just in case I need it, okay? Standard, if you don't mind. Oh, the pimple. I see what you're saying. Yes, I did tell myself. I tried to cover it up really well, so hopefully you don't see it. Okay. All right. Next question. How do you budget and how much income will you need to be able to travel full time? That's a really hard one. I have, so here, I'm actually going to do this. I have a course. Some of you guys already know. I'm going to actually just put this in the comments, a link to it. For anybody who's looking for budgeting, I have a full huge module on budgeting. It has my actual budget in there. I just put the link in the chat. So if you are interested, check that out. I will say that as far as budgeting, I'm an accountant by trade, so I have a budget that I just do in Excel. And it's different, for the van versus for the Scamp, only because like in the van, I'm using more gas and not going to as many campgrounds as I am now. So now I've budgeted in campgrounds and less gas. So there's a little bit of wiggle room with that. So sorry, just monitoring the comments here too. So it's really hard to say. Everybody is so different, but I put it in there. It's really hard to explain on here, but if you are interested in budgeting, check that out. I also use, someone asked me what do I use to budget? So this thing I'm telling you is amazing. I budget with Excel, but I use this. I'm going to put the link here. I use this software called YNAB, which I think stands for you need a budget, which is a weird thing. But it's kind of that, you've heard of Dave Ramsey, the envelope method, where people put cash in envelopes and they pre-fund those envelopes for their expenses. That's exactly what YNAB is, but it's all electronic. You don't have to do the physical cash stuffing. So I absolutely love it. It keeps me on track. I make sure that I pre-fund everything for everything I'm going to need for the year. Because part of that question was, do you budget on a weekly, monthly, annual basis? And yes, I do. And that's what I use to do it with. Okay. Any questions there? I don't think I see any. Oh, let's see. Heart Gypsy says, do you still have your 1,000 Trails membership for the RV parks? I do not. I got rid of it when I had the van. I didn't have good luck with them. There were some really bad things that happened towards the end, like their electric pedestals were not working properly and it damaged a lot of RVs electrics around me. Thankfully, I had that big Progressive industry surge protector, so I didn't have any issues, but it fried their RVs. So, and they knew about it, which was the thing. They knew that there was a problem. And so there's some other stuff that happened, and I just thought, you know what? I don't want to pay for this anymore. I don't want to stay in these parks just because of some of the weird stuff going on. So I just got rid of it. Traveling with Charity looks so good. How are you losing weight? I'm going to answer that. Thank you so much, by the way, for looking good. I have lost 41 pounds now. Woo! I'm so excited. Feel good. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know how to say your name. Is it Teresa and Flores? Do you still think about going to Europe? I do. Absolutely. There's going to be a little bit more to come about that soon too, but I do. I just haven't done it yet. Okay. I'm going to go to the next question. Let's see. Now that you have a full-time RV again, how do you vote, claim a permanent address? So I've always been domiciled down in Texas with the Escapees RV Club. They have an RV park down there, and they also have a mail company that will scan your mail. And so you can legally get an address there. It's an actual physical address. The USA Patriot Act says that you have to have a physical address for your bank cards, your bank and your credit cards, and a few other things, but those are the big ones. So you cannot just have a mail forwarding address. So I keep that address. It's actually where my company resides as well. I have an LLC there. So I just use that, and then it allows me to vote because that's my legal address. So I can vote that way, unless that changes here, because, a lot of things are changing. I'm hearing that they don't want to do mail-in ballots, so I'm not really sure what's going to happen with that. And we're not getting political on here, by the way. No politics, and we're not talking about that stuff, but I'm just saying what happened with that particular thing. Okay, let's see. What other question? Dun, 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 sorry. Michelle says, why can't they work on your SUV until mid-September? That seems odd, especially under the circumstances you have. Unfortunately, they don't really care about those circumstances because, and I'm not saying that to be mean, but they have other people ahead of me. I don't really know. It just seems that they're really backlogged. I don't understand the circumstances for that. I even called the main Ford customer service line, and they pretty much said they couldn't do anything. I do have a couple of friends who are in Texas who I talked to yesterday, and they're having a problem with their Nissan, and they're having the same issue getting it seen. So something's going on. I don't know. Patty says, any thoughts of going back to Mexico? At some point, maybe. Yeah, I like to go down there in the wintertime, in the South. So when I'm in the South, so I might. I don't really know just yet. I need to figure this whole situation out first. Okay. Is Ford, let's see, I'm not a bot 55. Okay, interesting name. Is Ford at least providing a loaner vehicle? They're not. They said they don't have any loaners, but they have a rental car agency across the street that I can rent a car from. Reimburse me up to 10 days, which I thought was interesting. I thought it was based on how many days your car is actually in the shop that they would cover a rental, and they say that they are not. So I don't know. Weird. Called Ford about that as well, and they agreed with that. Industrial Exit Strategist 2020. Is it possible to take it to a different mechanic or a different dealer? I've tried that. Well, first of all, it's still under warranty, so I cannot take it to an independent mechanic unless I wanted to pay for it, which I do not. I want them to fix this under warranty. And then I called a dealer that's north of here, the closest one, and they don't have any availability at all. They're down one tech and said that they're putting people on a wait list and will call people when they have availability. So nothing there yet. All right, next question. Do you still have your apartment as a home base? I do not. I put my stuff in storage and decided not to rent the apartment. There's really no need to at the time because I'm traveling full time right now. So my lease came to an end and I just went ahead and closed it all out and put my stuff in storage. The whole idea, and just so you know, because I don't think I've ever really communicated this. Give me one sec. I'm going to take a drink of water. I don't think I've ever communicated this, that my whole goal with going back traveling was that I probably was going to do it for 1 to 2 years, maybe. I haven't, I had a plan. I have a plan. Some of you guys might find this interesting. So my plan was I was actually looking to move abroad to France, and I've wanted to move there pretty much my whole life, but seriously over probably a decade. And I decided instead to not move to France a decade ago. I decided to stay in the US and travel the US because I hadn't seen it yet in my RV. So I did that first. And I thought, okay, well, I'll be in the scamp for like maybe another year or two and then move to France. And that timeline has actually moving up a little bit. So I'm still kind of looking at moving to France, but maybe a little bit earlier. So I'm not sure yet. That's news I haven't shared with you guys yet, but we will see. It's gonna be an adventure, that's for sure. No concrete decision just yet. Let's see. Kim, hello Kim. Just joining a little late. Good to see you here. Okay, so let's go to the next question. Do you, oh, no, I already answered that one. I follow a lot of creators that camp because I want to do it too, but most put a Venmo account in or an Amazon wish list. I think they mean like in the description. Not you. Why? It might help with money. Oh, thank you. By the way, some of you, well, I'd say at least 10 people have reached out to me asking why I don't have my Patreon open anymore and if I have a tip jar. So I'm going to actually give you guys a tip jar this time. I did not have one up for the longest time because I just kind of wanted to get things like going a little bit more with the channel since I took some time off. So here's a little tip jar if you guys want. I do not actually have Patreon open just yet. I'm not sure if I am, but if I do, you guys obviously will be the first to know about it. So I just put a link in the tip jar if you want. No pressure, anybody, not like begging for money, none of that stuff. Just people are kind and generous to ask if they could contribute. So I really do appreciate that very much. Obviously, you guys watching the videos, liking, subscribing, commenting. I do have Amazon list inside my description of every video. So if there's anything you see on my videos that you like, go to that list and select it and buy from there if you don't mind. That does help me. Of course, it's nothing out of your pocket to do that. It's just as using my link and I get a little commission for that. So yeah, totally appreciate that. Thank you. Let's see. Alicia Okigal says this is the buy me a coffee app too. Oh, there is a buy. Sorry, I misread that. There is a buy me a coffee app too. I will check into that. I just set it up through PayPal. It's pretty easy. Kathy Bird says, at least you know you can get a rental for 10 days. Hopefully we'll reimburse all of it. Yes. Oh, and I meant to tell you, this is really interesting. So not only will Forward do that, but I wanted to tell you about, and I don't have the link, sorry. I'll have to find it, but I'll put it in the description of this video if you're interested in, and probably a subsequent video. But what it is the Escapees RV group offers different companies programs at a discount. So there's a roadside assistance program that they use, and I purchased it for the SUV and the Scamp because I'm in it full time, and it covers, roadside assistance and stuff like this, what's happening. So I called them. They were absolutely phenomenal. They have a concierge service. So they not only found like the closest Ford, they also found this RV park that I'm staying at and talked to the staff, told them what was going on, got me a discount for staying here. And basically I'm going like day by day for my rate here. And everybody's been so nice, but this company was phenomenal. And so I highly recommend them. They have, for the benefit amount, so the tow, of course, was free. They pay $200 for campgrounds, $700 for airfare, $100 for meals, and then $200 for rental. I feel like there's something else on there that I'm missing. But anyways, I thought that was pretty darn good. So I have that rental amount too. But anyways, I just wanted to throw that out there. If you guys are ever looking for any roadside assistance in addition to what you have, or maybe instead of, they're really, really good and amazing, amazing company. So I'll get that to you guys later. All right. Next question. How is your weight loss going? Okay. I know I said it a little bit earlier, but I lost 41 pounds. I'm losing maybe a pound and a half a week. So I'm taking it slow because I don't want it to feel like a diet, I don't really feel like it is. I'm using Noom, by the way. That was the other question. What diet are you following? So I'm doing Noom. With Noom is about calorie counting and using their kind of green, yellow, or orange system based on like whether it's whole foods or good for you or nutrient dense. And so I really like that, but I also make sure that I prioritize protein, and I eat very, very little sugar. You guys know, if you've seen my videos enough, I do put sugar in my coffee, but that's pretty much it. So that's how I've been losing weight. But the protein thing has really helped me because last year I was doing keto and I just would stop losing weight. It wasn't good for me. I was insulin resistant. I stopped losing weight. My body just did not like it. So that's when I talked to my doctor. We started adding back in more whole food, good carbs, not the crazy like white stuff or anything. And that helped. I started losing weight. It started coming off. I'm no longer insulin resistant. My A1C is perfect. My blood pressure is perfect. I came off blood pressure medication. So I'm just feeling amazing. Like, I'm excited. It feels good to do this. Someone had said also, what are you doing differently that seems to work for you with losing weight? And adding the protein in was the biggest difference. Sorry, guys, the guys that are on here, maybe a little TMI, but good for you to know in case you have a female partner. Women who go through menopause need to prioritize protein. We definitely need a lot of protein. We lose, anybody getting older loses muscle mass, so we need to add more protein. So I try to get in right around 100, 120 grams a day in protein. So yeah, that was the big, huge difference. And then I walk. I do a lot of walking, and I do strength training, and that's all I do. I don't do any crazy aerobics. I don't want to hurt myself right now. I just want to get my weight down and then maybe add in more strenuous things. But right now, this is what is working, so I'm sticking with it. Thank you, everyone, for the kudos on the weight loss. Let's see. Alicia, I love all of your cooking and the videos too. Thank you so much. I have fun with it. I love to cook. It's fun to show it to you, especially because so many people are interested in it. Kate Chaos, I'm 48 and need to get back on protein and weightlifting. Losing 1 to 2 pounds a week is best. I love walking. Yes, it's huge. It's amazing. You don't really need to do a ton in order to get the weight off as far as exercise and stuff. So I don't know. It just seems to work for me. Okay, going to the next question. How long did it take to grow out your beautiful gray hair? It's gorgeous on you. Oh, thank you so much. It's been a love-hate relationship with my gray hair over the years. I've tried to grow it out. This is my 3rd time. I am not going back to dyeing. I will tell you that right now. So I started doing this, let's see, December, let's call it December 1st, 2023. So this is 2025. So, this December will be 2 years. My hair grows really slow. I did actually cut it off to kind of help. I cut it pretty short, and you guys didn't really see that. So, but now it's growing out. It's getting better. So this one is, where is this at? That's pretty darn close. I mean, like that much left maybe in some areas to cut off. But it's been fun. I love it. And I'm not gray everywhere. Like you can see, there's still a lot of dark in there. It's just more salt and peppery, but I do have this streak right here, which is kind of funny. I get told all the time, they're like, people pay good money for this. So, hey, I lucked out, right? Gray looks good on you. Thank you so much. Kate says, I've lost about 35 pounds over the years. Diet and portion control is key too. Yes, definitely. I totally agree with you. And congrats on the 35-pound weight loss. That's amazing. It's not easy. Okay. Let me just go to, I feel like there's some more questions I might have missed. Let me just scroll up here really quick. Okay. What needed happening to the SUV? How do you handle these situations? This is from Karen. How do you handle these situations, and do you miss the van? You've been following me for 3 years. Thank you. Thank you. I always appreciate that. If you don't mind, I'm going to hold on your question because I do have that in some subsequent questions here, and I will definitely answer you, I promise. Okay. Next one is, what are your favorite campground places in Oregon coast? So I love the Oregon coast. It's one of my favorite places. It's just so beautiful. Amazing sunsets, so much untouched areas. But my favorite place that I discovered this year is Winchester Bay. And that's the place that I've been at for the last month and a half. It's just easy to be there. It's a small fishing community. You can get fresh local fish, crab, tuna. I know there's something else that I'm missing. Those are the 2 big ones. But it's just amazing. They have the RV park that I stayed at over there. And then they have the Marina RV park. It's $25 a day. It's just easy. And you've got Coos Bay to the south, and then you have Florence to the north. Each are about 25 to 30 minutes away. So you can go they do have some grocery stores inside Winchester Bay, but they're small. It's actually called Reedsport. Reedsport is right there. But they're smaller. And so you can go to Walmart or Fred Meyer, bigger grocery stores in either Coos Bay or Florence. Great restaurants everywhere over there. Great. That was where Lake Marie was, where you can go hiking. There's the dunes if you're into ATVing on the dunes. People come from all over the West Coast to go over there to the dunes. It's one of like their thing over there. So anyways, I just love that area. Let's see here. I think I'm good. Okay. The next one is with the new restrictions on vehicle dwelling and new camping rates everywhere, what is your take on that? Okay. I know there's a lot of YouTubers who have put up videos about that. I have not. Again, I'm just going to say this because you guys know I don't do politics on here. We're not going to talk about politics. We're just going to talk about the facts. So the facts are, yes, it is changing. There's a lot of changes that have been happening. Honestly, I'm not really sure if we're done with some of the changes, but here are some of the facts. Public lands are being put up for sale. So that's been happening for a while, not just this year, but I feel like more and more are being put up for sale this year. So that affects our ability to camp, boondock in these beautiful, natural settings. So that will affect anybody, whether you're in a van, an RV, Class A, whatever that is, car, that will affect everybody. So that's number one. The second one is about the restrictions in urban areas. So that one is interesting in that they are looking to how do I want to word this? Criminalize is the first word that comes to mind. Criminalize urban camping, but I think the intention is to get rid of the homeless population. And so with them doing that, the way the law is written, it's very general and open very much to interpretation. So the reason why I'm saying that is because if you're in your van and you've chosen to be in a van, you're not homeless, you're in an urban area, you could potentially come into some trouble because of the new law. I don't know what they'll do. I don't know if they'll cite you, arrest you, confiscate your van, tow it, until you can go pick it up. I don't really know what that looks like right now. So I think it will make it harder. California, San Francisco just recently decided to implement a law that says you can only stay parked if you're an RV, anything that looks like an RV van. You can only park for 2 hours at a time. Anything over that, you can be cited and towed. And so I think people are just not wanting people to urban camp anymore. And again, trying to deal with the homeless population. So I think it's getting harder. So the effect of all of this is going to be that more and more people are going to have to stay in campgrounds, especially if they're going to get rid of boondocking, public land. And there's a lack of campgrounds, which is why the prices are so high right now. So we don't have the infrastructure for people who at least choose to be traveling in an RV to accommodate all of them in campgrounds anymore, especially if they sell the public land. So that's my take on it. Is it getting harder? Yes. In my experience, just the little time that I've been back on the road, there's been a lot of places in Oregon that have been completely shut down. Campgrounds that were BLM that maybe you had to pay like $8, $10 a day for, they're closing them down because people have abused them. It's not the state's fault. It's not the government's fault. It's the people who have abused them and caused problems for all of us. So it's really unfortunate. I definitely wish it wasn't happening, but things are very different than when I started in 2017. Tura says, I love that so many of you have liked this video. Thank you so much. Yes, I appreciate you saying that. Thanks, everybody. Okay. Let's see. Kathy Clark. Hello, Kathy. Good to see you. Your complexion and hair looks really good. Thank you. The makeup helps too. Let's see. I always mispronounce everybody's names. I'm so sorry. Is it Danny? Danny Hall, I love your videos. I'm thankful you're not talking about your political stuff. Yes. Thank you so much. I appreciate it too. We don't need that here. There's other places to get that. I want this place to be a place of calm and peace for people, and where they can, oops, sorry, moving everything around, where they can learn and build this incredible community. And I do have an amazing community. Everybody's really great here. Alicia says, I'm building my solar because I can't wait to boondock on the lake shores. Yes, that's Lake Shores, Michigan, right? Is that what you're talking about? That's such a beautiful area up there. Okay. Oops, I just went down a little too far. Let's see here. Hello from Oklahoma. Hello. Kathy Bird says, I totally agree. Pick up behind you. You are running it for everyone. Yes. It's the whole, why am I forgetting it? Leave no trace. Always pick up your stuff, but people are leaving like gross things, like they're going to the bathroom out there and leaving, not burying their poo, and they're leaving toilet paper everywhere, and it's gross. Trash. If you're out there, by the way, camping and you see stuff like that, just grab a trash bag and pick it up. It really does help. I do it all the time. Okay. Traveling solo. Hello, Maury. Good to see you. Vicky, love your adventures and love Georgie. Oh, thank you. I thought of you when I saw a scamp with an awning attached. Do you ever consider one with the foggin? Urine at times. I'm not sure what that means. FYI, great restaurants and resort. Yes, I do think about getting an awning attached. But I have the Kelty shelter, which I really love. So I haven't gotten an awning. I don't know. We'll see. I might. I decided not to get it just because I never really used it in the van too much, because I felt like I was always in places that were really windy, and that thing did not handle wind well. So the Kelty shelter really does, which is another reason why I got it, because it's staked down to the ground. It's attached to the scamp, so it's just not going anywhere. Cindy says, we bought an Omnia oven because I saw it on your video. We just got it and haven't tried it yet, but fingers crossed. We like it as much as you do. Oh, I hope you like it too. It's a lot of fun. Are you using it at home, or are you using it in an RV? It's a lot of fun. I'll talk more about that in a bit, because that was another one of my questions. Let's see. Do you plan on going to Colorado? Probably not this season, just because it's going to be too cold by the time I get done getting my SUV back. I mean, they can't look at it till September 15th, and they've already pre-warned me that getting it fixed could take a long time. So I don't know. There's a guy over here that has been here for 3.5 months. His Class A diesel broke down, and they had to rebuild the engine, and so he's been here for 3.5 months, and it's still not fixed. I'm hoping that that's not the case, but we will see. Okay. Kathy says, is that just for the West Coast, Amber? I think you're talking about the restrictions on vehicle dwelling. That is federal. That was federal. The current administration just signed off on that. Again, I think it's geared at dealing with homeless population, but it's going to affect all of us. California was already implementing in some cities things where you can't camp in the city. People were still doing it. It's been loose and a bit of a gray area, but I think they're really cracking down. So I'm not sure. We'll just have to watch and see. Catherine Gregory, hello. You guys all know Catherine Gregory, don't you? Say hi to her. She has a YouTube channel. She says, love your cozy, cute scamp, and your cooking looks delish. Keep on keeping on, sister. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, she, if you don't know Catherine, go check out her channel, please. I think we've probably been doing this about the same time. Catherine, she didn't take time off. I did. Catherine traveled first in a truck camper. Then Catherine, I apologize, I don't remember the trailer you have right now, but she bought a trailer. And then, kind of like me, the scamp or pulling a trailer, sometimes it makes things a little bit harder sometimes. And if you just want to go like we did in a van or a truck camper, it's a much easier. So she actually did a no build out in her truck. And so it's really super cool. So I have sent a ton of people her way so that you can go check it out, because people are interested in doing a no build out. So she's got a great channel, and she hikes a lot. And yeah, amazing channel. So go check her out. Thanks for stopping by, Catherine. Okay. Original Mama Grizzly says, leave it better than you found it. Absolutely. Cindy's Figment says, hi from Las Vegas. Hello. Let's see. Where am I at? Alicia L says, same as in the urban areas, they are trashing the areas and people are afraid to walk the streets. Yeah, it can get problematic in some areas for sure. Let's see. Julietta, the Nomad Artist says, maybe you already have done it and I missed it, but what about a video comparing van versus scamp in detail? I did do a video kind of about that. I think it highlights most of the reasons why I'm in the scamp. But check that out. It was a couple of videos back. It actually says, like, can't remember. You'll see it in the title. I don't remember what the title name is now. Shelly says, I so appreciate the whole journey with your scamp. I would love to get a camper, but have been anxious about starting, and your videos have given me some confidence I'll be able to handle towing. Yay, I'm so glad that it's helped you. It's not that hard. I do have this as part of one of my questions about the towing, and I'll go into that in a little bit more, but it's really not that hard once you practice and kind of figure out like which way you need to turn the steering wheel based on where the camper is going to go when you're backing up. But I'll go into that. So anyways, good luck on your journey with that. Okay. Alicia says, good to know about the Kelty shelter. Was thinking about shade for the dogs in the van. Yeah, it really, really helps. If you saw my videos back when I was in Oregon off of the river, this is back in like May, June-ish. In those videos, you'll see the Kelty shelter there, and it's amazing. It was getting hot, and it really, really helped me a lot. Okay. Everyone's saying hi to Catherine. Yay. Jackknife says, do you ever have to deal with winterizing your van water freezing issues? Well, the van, I did have to if I was going to be in cold weather, but I was never doing that. But I'm not in the van anymore. I'm in the scamp trailer. So the scamp trailer has no plumbing and no water. So no, I don't have to winterize anything. And I did that by design. I keep jerry cans of water with me because I did want to be able to stay in colder weather climates and not have any water freezing issues. The furnace in here works fantastic. So yeah, it's going to be a game changer for winter camping for sure. Not so much for summer camping. I got to make a different plan for summer. Karen says, I almost bought a scamp, but in Arizona, I couldn't find one to look at. I think there's a scamp dealership here now. There is actually. They just opened it this year, so check it out over there. I had to go all the way to Minnesota to pick mine up in the dead of winter in February. It was a fun adventure. Okay. Cindy says, are you coming to the RTR in Quartzsite this year? I don't know. I haven't thought about it, to be honest with you. I might. We'll see. I usually try to stop by, say hi to everybody. Okay. Let's see. Cindy Shepard also says, do you feel safe in your scamp as a van? I'm going to answer that soon. Okay. I'm going to get back to the questions here. Sorry, I'm always pushing up my glasses. I have the transitions because I'm getting older. So I'm like looking, doing that to look to see what I'm reading and then looking at the screen and the comments. Okay. Do you ever do camping meetups? I don't really do them anymore. I used to. It's been a long time. I don't know. I might do them. Sometimes I do them when I'm down south, but it's a safety issue for me. Meaning like I have to give my location real time, and I don't do that ever. So I don't, and again, it's not, for the wonderful people, most of the people that are on my channel, it's not a big deal, but you got to be safe. So I just rarely do them except when I'm down south and I'm around a lot of people. Do you ever cook outside? I do. I grill outside. I do have a Jetboil camping stove. I have not used it. But sorry, I lost my train of thought. I haven't used it yet. I haven't really needed to because I grill typically meat outside. But I bought this cast iron and I love using it in here, but does kind of make a splattery mess sometimes with if you're cooking meat. So I will probably bring that outside and cook on that. But I love cooking outside. It's wonderful. As long as it's not too windy, then you can do it. Okay. Where have you traveled in the US? Where did you like and you didn't like? So I've been to all 49 states that I can drive to, except of course Hawaii. I have not even flown there yet. Don't know why, but here it's an amazing place. I would love to do that sometime. But um, I have been to all 49 states. I went to, and I know some of you guys might be wondering, but I went to Alaska in 2019, summer of 2019. So that was a great adventure. Drove all the way there. That was in my van. And the next question I usually get after that is, would you go again? Yes, I would, but not in my own vehicle. I would probably fly and rent something there. It's really hard on your RV and your van when you drive there, but there's so much beauty in between. So I don't know, it's really hard. It's really beautiful. Yukon Territory was one of my favorite places. Okay. Okay. Sandra says, love Catherine. I've been following her for a long time, but not as long as you. Think I've followed you since the beginning. I think you have too. Was the beginning when you had your Class C? Yes, that was in 2017. So for those of you who are new, I started out in a Class C, was in it for a year. It's 26 foot Winnebago. Well, it was actually called a Spirit, but it's part of the Winnebago line. And it was lovely. I loved it, but I wanted a van. I wanted to be more nimble. So I bought that, downsized into that, was in that for a good part of the last, well, from 2018 through 2022 or 2023. And then I sold it. And then when I came back on the road, well, last year I bought the Scamp. So keep downsizing instead of upsizing. But it's been a fun ride. Okay, the next part of that question was where did you like and you didn't like? So I loved Alaska. I don't people ask me all the time, what's your favorite place? I don't have a favorite place. There's a lot of places that I love, so I'll name those. Alaska was really amazing. Maine is one of my favorite places. I know this might be a surprise to everybody unless you live out there, but New York, not New York City, but New York in general, the whole area of the state is beautiful, beautiful. Lots of really good camping there too. And then Oregon has been one of my favorite places too. Places that I didn't like, I had to make notes because I had to remember all of it. So some of you, Sandra, I know will definitely know. Sandra will definitely know. Florida, not my favorite place. And if you live in Florida, which Tura, I know you live there, but it's not Florida in and of itself. It's the bugs. It's the no-see-ums and the mosquitoes. And the no-see-ums and the mosquitoes love me, and I have a major allergic reaction to them. So it's really hard for me to ever think about going there again because I just get eaten alive, and it's miserable, absolutely miserable. Like I actually got a fever with it. Traveling solo, wow, Alaska was 6 years ago. God, it was 6 years ago. Wow. Time flies. That's when my van caught on fire there. If you guys remember that, that was scary. Do you have an affiliate link for the Kelty shelter? I'm about to order one and want to give you credit. Yes, if you go to this video in the description, there's a link for my Amazon, all my accessories on Amazon for the Scamp, and it's in there. Let's see. Thank you so much for that, by the way. I apologize for not saying that ahead of time. Thank you. And you'll see the exact one that I purchased. Kate says, I'm from upstate New York, totally beautiful and lots of lake activities, but winters are rough. So yes, I haven't really been there in the winter. So what you said, from upstate New York. I'd love to know where you're from up there. It's really pretty. I stayed at Jacques Cartier State Park up there. Really, really nice. It's right on the St. Lawrence River. You can see Canada across. It's cool. Okay. Tourist says not for camping. In Florida is what she's talking about. Absolutely right. Okay. Patty says, will you ever do a meetup? Been following you for so long. Happy to be. Thank you so much. I kind of answered that a moment ago, but no, I don't really do meetups, but sometimes in the South I do. But I don't know. I don't have any plans of doing it. It's a safety issue for me because of my location. Okay. We're going to go to the next one. Oh, Rochester. I've been there. I like that area. It's really cool. Okay. Let's see. Next question. Were you surprised when you began to feel the desire to travel full time again after being in an apartment for a while? Not really, because I have itchy feet and I just kind of know myself. But honestly, I loved my stationary life. I didn't have any problem with it. I already had the scamp, and I was like, I just want to get out and travel some more. And I really felt like this was probably going to be my last time going out full time. So I decided to just go for it. So no, I like it. I enjoy it. But it wasn't a surprise, just because I know me. Would you mention a couple of small to medium-sized towns on the West Coast that you've enjoyed and would recommend to stay for summer season? So I already mentioned Winchester Bay in Oregon. Loved that place. The other one that I really love is Port Townsend, Washington. There's a bunch of camping around there. It's not necessarily boondocking unless you kind of start going to the West Coast towards like Nia Bay. There's a couple of places over there you can do some boondocking. But Port Townsend is just a cute, cute little town right off of Puget Sound. They have state parks. They have private RV parks. There's the Escapees Park that's over there that I stayed at for a little while. It's just a really nice, nice place to be. Lots to do. Farmers markets. Of course, the camping, hiking. There's Hurricane Ridge you can go to. I have a video on that where I tried to go hiking, and it was just foggy as heck, but it was beautiful, and yeah, I loved it. All right. Alicia says, downsize because it's easier to move around in a small vehicle. I've traveled in a 23-foot trailer, but now have a van, feeling it's going to be so much better. Yeah, it definitely can be when you go smaller. It's just more simple, Okay. Thanks, everyone, for giving the thumbs up and for asking everybody to. I appreciate it. You guys are all great moderators for me. All right. Karen says, I live in New Hampshire half a year, and I remember the trip you made. I was there in the fall. I was there. Fall is beautiful in New England. Yeah, it is one of the most beautiful places in the fall to be there. It's the fall leaves. Like, it was one of the things I wanted to stay and do because I had never seen the fall in New England, and it is spectacular. If you've never been, cool, I highly suggest it. Even if you fly out and rent a car and go see it, it's incredible. Aunt CC says, hi, Amber. I'm prepping my van today for a 3-week trip out west. Yay, that's exciting. Good luck on your trip and safe travels. Okay. Karen says, journal, did you design one? Sorry, I can't recall. I did not design one, but I bought one. Do I have it on Amazon? I don't think so. No, because the leather binder comes from a company in Europe, which I can provide that information in a little bit. But I love the leather binder. And then I just buy the, what are they called? Field journals, the little individual ones. You can stick them in. It's perfect. Life is short, make it sweet. Do you think that Kelly works with vans too? Yes, I actually found it's a Kelty shelter. I found it from people who use it on their vans. It's absolutely perfect. Yes, you can definitely use it for that. Okay. Julie says, do you have a Ravelry name? Oh, I probably do. If you guys don't know what Ravelry is, it's a knitting website. I do knit. Yes, I'm knitting a shawl right now. I haven't finished. I've kind of put it down and haven't picked it back up. I probably do, but I don't remember what it is. It might be Amber Jules is my middle, or Jules is my middle name. It might be that, Jules. Let's see. Clara's Sheets. Have you ever encountered a bear? Twice, and only in Alaska. I was in Alaska camping, and a mama bear and her babies, black bears, came walking by. Yeah, that was a little nerve-wracking, but I was camping with some people, which was nice, and so we made a pact to make sure we walk our dogs together. There was 3 of us, and then our dogs, and we carried bear spray. Up in Alaska, they actually say that you shouldn't hike unless you have at least 3 people. Because you're going to encounter a bear. It's not if you're going to, it's when. Okay. Next question. If I can find it. What is that? I love this. What is that bundt pan-shaped pan that you sometimes cook in, and what is your favorite dish you cooked in so far? So the bundt pan shape is that Omnia oven, and it's made in Sweden. It's made for camping, or I mean you can use it at home too. But what was the other part of that question? What's your favorite dish? Okay. Yeah. So it works. There's like a little kind of like a little plate underneath it, a metal plate, and you stick the pan on top of it. And that pan is what heats up, and it has a hole, the bundt part, and the heat comes up through that hole. And with the lid on it, it pushes the heat all around the entire dish. So it works really good. There's a little bit of a learning curve to it. You can watch a ton of YouTube videos about it, but you have to be careful about things burning on the bottom if you have your heat too high. I also use those. I put like a little grate, it comes with it down in the bottom, that basically lifts the I put the silicone mold in it to put all of my food in there because it's nonstick. And then that sits on top of that little metal grate in the bottom, and it lifts it up off of the pan so that you don't burn it. So it really, really does help. So I highly suggest. The silicone molds do not come with it. You have to buy those separately, unless there's a kit or something that I don't know about now. But I highly suggest buying the silicone molds if you get that. But yeah, it makes a difference. You can cook, like I've seen people cook bread, any kind of desserts, meat, roast vegetables, lasagna. I've done. So the question was, what was my favorite dish in it? I cooked a lasagna, which people laughed at me about because they said that's lasagna. It was intended to be lasagna, but it kind of turned into lasagna soup. But you know what? It tasted really good. It's because I didn't properly prep the zucchini because I didn't use noodles. So I use zucchini as my noodles, and they get kind of watery. So, but anyways, it was lovely. I loved it. It tasted so good. Oh, and I've cooked a full-on pizza in there before with actual like the pizza crust, and that was really good too. When it comes out, it looks like a big old bagel that comes out. That's fun though. Okay. More questions on here. Okay. Aunt CC says, I'm going to boondock. Is food okay in drawers, or do I need to take further steps for bears? I think you said you were in a van, were you not? If I remember right up here. You should be fine. I kept in the van or in the scamp because I've been in bear country in both. I just keep it inside, and if you cook outside, just make sure you clean up really well, and don't leave trash out there with the smell of food on it. If you can put things like, let's say you open a tuna can, which has a very intense smell to it, put it in like a couple of plastic bags, Ziploc bags, and keep it in your trash inside. If they have bear bins, I would highly suggest using the bear bins. That will help you, especially food, if you want to put the food in the bear bin. Usually the areas that you go to will give you like a little bit more indication on what you should do for food purposes, but I've never had an issue with it being inside my van. But that doesn't mean that it can't happen. Bears can be a little sneaky. They've been known to open doors, and so keep your doors locked for sure, and be careful about your windows. I'm not trying to scare you, but just, it's just one of those things. You got to be careful. All right. Let's see. Life is short, make it sweet. Itchy feet. Are you Pisces? No, I'm Taurus. Taurus. My gypsy adventurer. Hey, skinny mini. Oh, thank you. I'm not there just yet, but I'm getting there. I can totally tell from your face that you've lost weight. You're looking good. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm enjoying it. Does feel a lot better to like feel like more, I don't know, mobile, I guess. Yeah. I felt like my muscles were starting to atrophy a little bit because I wasn't working out very much. So it's what happens as we get older. Okay. Alicia Okigal says, if you have an Amazon channel or whatever you call that, I will purchase the ovens through the link. Thank you so much. It's in the description of this video. You can find it there. So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay. Trevor says, just got a Scamp 16, layout 6 a couple of months ago. Really enjoy your channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And congratulations on your Scamp 16. I'm not sure what the layout 6 is. I'll have to go look that up, but the 16 is amazing. I mean, all the scamps are amazing. Deborah says nachos in the Omnia oven are great. Yes, I forgot about that. I haven't actually done that before, but works perfectly. Anything that you can, pretty much anything that you can cook in an oven, you can cook in the Omnia oven. You just have to maybe change it a little bit because of the shape. That's really it. As long as like what you're cooking fits in there, you can cook it. Okay. Fantastic dreamer. I am looking to relocate to France as well. Do you have any tips on how to get visa residency there without a job? I'm retired. I just started to gather information. It seems difficult. I have a lot of information about that, but I would suggest going to expats in France on Facebook. They have a lot of good information there. You know what? Send me an email to amber@storychasing.com with your name and the information that you want about that, and I'll send you some stuff for it because it's pretty long to put on here. But yes, there's several different visas that I could think of for you with that. So just send me that email. My Gypsy Adventure, curious if you're finding setting up with a scamp has become a drag versus I think that's supposed to be van, and versus the van had, I can't remember, sorry, I can't read. Okay, the scamp is, I find it's easy. I mean, the van, you had to set some stuff up too. I mean, you didn't have to always, make sure that it was level. You could pretty much level it just by driving into a spot for the most part. But, you would set out your mat, you would set out a chair, the normal things that you would for camping. With a scamp, yep, you have to unhook and you have to stabilize. Make sure that it's level from side to side and front to back, and then also put stabilizers down, and then you're done. Oh, well, of course the jack too, right? 'Cause that comes off the truck. But I can do all of it now in like 20 minutes, if that. It's so easy now. But I just really figured it out because I've been doing it so much. And I've only been in it for 4 months. So I think I've felt the most comfortable probably in the last 2 months, including backing it up. So it's been fine. Had no issues. Let's see. BW Brady. I'm a lifelong Oregon resident. We have a severe homeless problem. It's hazardous to everyone because of the pollution, crime, and the wildfires that start. Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of problems out on the West Coast with homelessness. Washington, Oregon, California, they all have them. Kate says Tauruses are homebodies and Pisces are adventurous. I'm surprised. I don't know. I've always been adventurous. I've always been like a risk taker, and maybe because I moved around a lot as a kid. My grandparents were RVers too, so maybe I kind of got it from them. But I am a homebody. But okay. Actually, now that you say that, let me say one little thing about that. This is my home, and I am a homebody in it, by the way. I was in my van as well. Like, I would go hike and do all the adventurous things, but I love being in my home. I love being comfortable in here. I love cooking in here. I love doing my crafts in here. I love just being outside and having coffee and soaking up the sun and doing some exercises. So I do love it. So I guess actually you're kind of right. I am a homebody. Ruth Miller, I enjoy your channel and candidness. Thank you. Appreciate you being here. Truth Seeker. Hi, Amber. Just wondering if you ever regret buying a dry scamp instead of having water accessories, shower, sink, etc. No, nope, I don't at all. I don't have zero regrets. The only thing I wish I had done was put in an AC, and that's only because it's been a crazy hot year here. And by the way, it's supposed to get really hot here next week. So I bought a swamp cooler, a small one. I say it's probably like that big, maybe. Try to put my hands up here. Anyways, you use ice for it, and the reviews were really great. I looked at buying a portable AC unit while I'm kind of stuck here, but they're so big, and you have to vent a hose out the window, and it just would be too much. So I bought a swamp cooler, and I don't have time to put in, a big AC up in here. I still am doing my research on all of that. So swamp cooler it is, and I'll let you know how that goes. Okay. What else do we have here? Oh, the other question, sorry, was about the water. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. The plumbing, so let's see. No, I don't regret that. The plumbing, I opted to not have that, opted to not have put a kitchen sink in here, opted to not have a gray tank or a freshwater tank. The reason being because I wanted to just carry the jerry cans. It was simpler, but I wanted to really be in colder climates when I'm camping. And I didn't want to have to deal with, freezing pipes, any of that stuff. And it just makes it really simple. The one thing that you might not know about this scamp is that they put that freshwater tank on the back side of the scamp underneath, also the gray tank. And it's behind the axle. This is a single axle. So this was something that I didn't know until I started researching it and understanding how tow vehicles work or towing works. If you have too much weight in the back behind that axle, you can get this, side to side motion when you're traveling, and it can get out of control where it sways. So I do have a sway bar, and it helps, but they advise you to empty your water tanks and your gray tanks before you move. Well, when I think about boondocking, I don't, when I was in the van, I didn't empty my tanks. I need the water because I'm boondocking. So a lot of times I would be in one place that would have water, but where I was going to, there wouldn't be water readily available for me. So I'd want to carry that water. In this, you cannot. You have to dump it before you travel. So just because of the complexities with towing. So that was one reason why I opted to not do it. And it's just easier, to be honest with you. I have actually, let me grab it real quick. I have this spray bottle of water. I put half vinegar, half water in it. And I use that for spraying all my dishes and cleaning. So I don't need any water for cleaning. There's sometimes when I have, like the other day, I cooked some ground beef in the pan, and it was a little bit greasy, and even the vinegar water solution doesn't cut it. So I actually just went out, I boiled some water, and I put that in it and cleaned it out really easily that way. So I just do that. And then as far as showering, I have a jerry can that I have a portable pump that has a shower nozzle on it, a hose, and I use that when I'm boondocking. But when I'm in RV parks, I just go to the showers over here. And also I try to utilize a lot of times the bathrooms here. I do have a composting toilet that slides underneath this bench that I'm sitting on, and I use that for using the bathroom whenever I need to, or going to the local bathroom if there's one available where I'm boondocking or where I'm staying in an RV park. So yeah, I don't regret it at all. It's just super simple, just really simple. And I love that I'm not using that much water. I'm conserving a lot, using more paper towels, but not so much water. Okay. More questions over here. Julie, any tiny fridge storage ideas for leftovers? It's so hard to find room. It makes us overeat, so we don't have to deal with them. Oh my gosh, that's a problem to have for sure. Storage ideas. Well, I took my freezer out of mine. It's just the slide out at the top. I took that out and I don't use it. So that gives you a little bit more room, a lot more room actually. And then I don't know, storage ideas. I repackage everything in Ziploc bags. That helps to conserve room in there. So that's a big deal. I don't use Tupperware or anything like that for my leftovers. I know it sucks because I'm using plastic, to put my leftovers in, and I'm throwing it away. I hate it. I really hate it. But you just can't put extra dishes in there. You don't have room for it. So that's one of the things that I use. Okay. Sherry says, how do you do dishes without a sink? Oh, I just answered that question with the water vinegar solution. Okay. All right, I'm going to go back to a couple. Well, actually, hold on. Early Riser says, from what I understand, swamp coolers are only efficient when the humidity is low. We use them in the desert, hoping it works for you. Well, the good news is I'm in the desert. Yeah. All right. Next question from before. Have you thought about installing a mini Starlink to your rooftop, eliminating dragging out your current Starlink or panels and cords? No, I will not opt to do that. It's just easy to put out there, and I don't want to punch any holes in the top of this roof. I know there's other ways that you can do it, but for me, I like it to just pull out because the Scamp, the great thing about having the trailer is you can park the trailer in the shade and then move the Starlink to get line of sight to the sky further out because it's got such a long cord on it. So, and that same thing with the solar panels. So, no, I wouldn't mount them because of that. They were mounted. I didn't have Starlink in the van, but the van had the solar panels on top. So, if it was really hot, there's a trade-off. You either had to be in the shade so that you weren't so hot, but then you wouldn't get enough power into or solar into your batteries. So then I would opt to be hot and keep the van in the sun so that I could get solar. So this, I don't have to do that. Perfect. All right. Next is a lot about scamp versus van question. So someone asked us earlier, do you feel safe in the scamp versus the van? I get this question a lot from everyone. Okay, so here is I know before in the van, I had said that, yes, you can when I was traveling in the van, I always said, yes, I feel really safe in it. It was one of the reasons why I bought the van and the Class C is because it was my first time RVing, and as a solo woman traveling, it felt really good to just be able to jump in the front seat and go. Totally understand that, still believe that, not a problem. Let's just talk about logistics here. In the Scamp, you can obviously jump in the front seat of your SUV or your truck or whatever and take off if you feel unsafe. You are stuck in here having to deal with whatever might be outside. So yes, is that less safe than jumping in the front seat of a van and taking off? Yes, I would agree with that. The other fact is that I have never, in all of my times of traveling, had an issue with anybody. Part of that, I think, part of it for me is because I'm also research things pretty well, and I try to pick areas where I feel very safe. If I don't feel safe when I get there, I don't stay there. A lot of times I, would camp where even if it's boondocking, you can camp where you still have maybe line of sight to people. So there's kind of some people around and you feel a little bit safer in numbers. And then, in RV parks, I feel completely safe in RV parks. I don't feel the need to, jump in the front seat of my SUV and take off. I don't really think too much is going to happen here. So we just never really had any issues. It's not to say that it can't happen. I have things inside to protect myself, various modes of weapons, if you will, throughout. I mean, a weapon can be a fork, so you can take that for however you want. Or I don't want to go into the things that I have, but you need to protect yourself in whatever way you feel necessary. But I do have them spread out throughout the RV, through my SUV. I had the same thing in the van, in the back of the van, in the middle of the van, in the front of the van, on both sides of the van. Like I had things everywhere. So just in case anything happened, but I've just never had hardly anybody there. I mean, can something happen there? Yes, but there's less people there. I'm more afraid to be in cities, to be honest with you, because they're stuffed. Even RV parks are stuffed, and people just come out here in the middle of the night and steal your chairs, your bicycles, whatever. Like some places are better than others, but it happens. So yeah, I feel safer boondocking, to be honest with you. Tammy L says, love your YouTube channel, and hi, Catherine. Gregory, love your YouTube channel. Also, I dream of traveling part-time someday. Can you list the swamp cooler you bought? Thank you so much, Tammy. I appreciate that. I will link it in the description of this video. I have to go through a bunch of things to get to it, but I haven't used it yet, so I don't know if I really want to recommend it, but I will find it and put it in the description for you. But it'll be after this live stream is over. So just look for it in the description of the video after this is done. Karen says, you look so happy. Glad you're embracing life and chasing your dreams. Thank you. I feel pretty darn happy. Wasn't so happy the other day. I was really stressed out. You can ask Tura. I called her and a couple of friends, and I was pretty upset and stressed and needed some moral support from my lovely friends. So yeah, it was rough. for those 8 hours. You'll see in an upcoming video. I cried. Yes, I cried. Mostly because like it's just the kindness of people. And I'll get into that in the video, but it was, you know, people took a really bad situation and made it good. So as good as it possibly can be. So one of the lovely things that I love about this RV life is that, you know, when I went into it, I was a little bit fearful because I, you know, had watched media and news and, you know, friends and family and everybody was scared for me. And there's this whole thing, you know, that everybody in the world is scary. Cities are scary. People are scary. Bad things happen all the time. But the truth of the matter is that, I mean, there are those things out there, but my faith in humanity was renewed when I got on the road because I met so many kind people. So many people have helped me along the way. I've helped so many people along the way. Like, we just help each other and people who aren't even RVers. So I don't know, like, there's some really good people out there. They're not all bad. Just want to reiterate that. Okay. Someone asked, are you getting AC in the Scamp eventually? Yep, I will. Is it different cooking in the van versus the Scamp? I had to really think about this question. I don't think so. Both of them have propane. I think the only thing that is really different is that the Scamp has more space, open space, where the van was more narrow because it had the counters or the storage behind, like where the drawers are for the kitchen. So anytime you open the drawer, it kind of butts up against that side wall and you would have to move out of the way of the drawer. And here I don't have to. I've got a nice big kind of square space to move around in. So I don't know, you can just move around better in here, which I think is good. So no real difference in that. Oh, but actually the countertop space is another big difference. Excuse me. The countertop space, hold on. The countertop space is a lot bigger. I mean, I say a lot. It's a small Scamp, and so is the van. But it's probably double the size, so that's a lot of space. And I can, you know, as you guys know, I love to cook, so it's a great surface area to prep all of your food and chop and do all of those things. Plus, I keep that Bluetti battery up there, so that helps a lot. It's, well, it takes away from the space, but the Bluetti is there for power purposes. Okay. If you could trade in the Scamp for a different travel trailer, would you, and what would you get instead? Let's see. I love my Scamp. I picked it for a reason because I love that it's really lightweight and simplistic, and you can really customize a lot of things in here. But if I had to do something different, I would get an Airstream because my friends Mark and Grant, who live up in New York, you guys have seen them on my channel before. They have a very large Airstream. I would not get one that large, but I mean, well, I don't know, maybe I would, but you know, I like smaller stuff. But they're really nice and they're just, I don't know, it's just neat. It's different, but they're really heavy, which is why I didn't get it because I knew I just wanted an SUV. I didn't want to get a huge truck. I wanted the SUV because it's just easier to ride in. And I knew that I might only be in the Scamp for 1 to 2 years and it would end up being my daily driver. And so for me, having the SUV was just more practical, especially when I was thinking long term. So I would get an Airstream, I guess, if I could change things. Okay. What pleasant surprises or not so pleasant surprises have you discovered while living full-time in the Scamp? I think for me, so the first one that a lot of people ask about is the towing. So the ease of towing and how I've picked it up. And that's partly just because I have to, you know, and you practice every time you do it. So the ease of it has been really great. A lot of people have said because it's a small trailer with a single axle that those are even harder to back up. And I don't have anything to compare it to. So like they're saying if you have a really long trailer with a double axle versus the single axle, it's much easier. So I'll take their word for it. It responds very fast. I'll say that. So you can like if you're backing up, if you barely turn, I was like turning the wheel all the way so it would turn the way that I wanted it to go, but I was overcompensating for the turn. So now I've realized that I just need to turn a little bit, let it start going in that direction, and then kind of even out a little bit. So I'm kind of pushing it in straight, if that makes sense. So anyways, I'm getting more used to that, but the ease of towing and then how comfortable it is in here now that I've decided to make the dinette just the bed. So that's where the bed and the dinette is all in one, but I keep the bed up all the time. I never use the dinette. So it's super comfortable over there. I put a memory foam mattress on it, 4-inch memory foam. And then, I have my nice bedding on it and blankets and my pillows, and Georgie loves it. It's the place that she stays in most of the day when she's in here. And then, I made this couch. So this was not part of it. This was a bunk, and I don't need a bunk. So I got rid of the back. The bunk was the back. And then I got this cushion, and it's like a wedge pillow. And then I put memory foam down on the couch part of it, and it's super comfortable. Added this lagoon table that this computer's resting on. The lagoon table is, I'm so glad I did this. It was the only reason, that was the only way that I would make the bed to make it stationary where it was always down, is to put a lagoon table in. So I use the lagoon table for eating. I use it for working on, and it's just really comfortable in here. I think that, maybe, I would like a little bit more storage for clothes and stuff, because my clothes are super packed in there and they always come out wrinkled. Other than that, I don't know. It's a little bit of a trade-off, I suppose, but yeah, super comfortable. Let me see your questions over here. Okay. I get a little bit lost because it scrolls a bit, so I gotta find where I was at. Amber, are you still considering a tiny home someday? I just had one built. Oh, that's exciting that you had one built. You have to let me know if you want to share where, like, what area you had it built. Are you staying in a tiny home village, or did you buy some land and put it on? Maybe, yeah, one day. Tiny home. When I say tiny home, for me, it's not the traditional tiny homes that are out there, because I want everything to be one story. So mine's what I think of more like a tiny cottage, one story. But yeah, I would love to do that still one day, just not there yet. I have some goals and I'm getting there. Maria says, do you have some of your belongings in storage, or is everything that you own with you? I do have storage this time because I knew that I was only going to be out for a year or two. It's probably going to be less than that now. More to come on that. But yes, I still have the storage with all of my stuff. It wasn't financially, cost-wise, it didn't make sense to sell it all and then rebuy. So it made more sense. I got the storage for, it's not very much every month, and it's far less to pay for the storage than to replace the thing. So I kept the storage. Alicia says she has a meeting in 10 minutes, need to go, but so happy to catch my first live with you all. Happy camping. Thank you so much, Alicia. Good luck on your meeting. I'm glad you showed up. Appreciate it. Okay. Where is sweet Georgie? Someone asked. Okay. I know some of you. Oh, she's laying here sleeping. Come here, Georgie. I'm going to have to wake her up. Oh, girl. Here you go. Georgie. Sorry, the girl. She's like a big lug. Look at her. You going to say hi to everybody? Mm-hmm. Say hi. She just wants to sleep. Oh, the baby. She's all snuggled in her little blankie over here. Okay. Let's see. Is it difficult to pull the little trailer in traffic? That's a hard one. It's everybody saying hi to you, Georgie. Let's say I don't like pulling it through traffic, but I didn't like, being in traffic in the van either. People don't like to be behind you when you're in a trailer or high profile vehicles, because they can't see around you. So they just want to get around you and get in front or get into another lane. So It is hard sometimes. I just take it really slow and put a ton of room between me and the person in front. A lot of times people will think that because you're putting that room in front of you, that they can slide in there, and they do. So you just have to kind of watch out for that. But the biggest thing that I can say, no matter what you're traveling in, is just to take it slow. If you feel uncomfortable, slow it down. You're not hurting anything. There's no rush to get anywhere. Just take it slow, and you'll usually be okay. Why did you decide on a Scamp? For an older person, would you recommend a tow vehicle or an RV build? So why did I decide on the Scamp? I probably answered a little bit of that throughout here, but generally speaking, I liked the Scamp just because I felt like it met all of the things that I wanted. It's very lightweight. This Scamp, and this was one of the other questions, is the weight. It was the build that I did, which, remember, does not have a bathroom. If you're looking on Scamp's website, it's the Scamp 13-foot with layout 1. The layout 1 is no bathroom. They do have one that has a bathroom, but this has no bathroom. And I deleted the plumbing, deleted the sink, deleted the freshwater tank and the gray water tank. And so because it doesn't have those things, it did make it a little bit lighter weight. And so with that, it was 1,450 pounds. Weighted is 1,850 pounds approximately. Weighted meaning all of my stuff inside of it. And so I liked that it, with all of that, it was lightweight. My SUV as a 4-wheel drive can tow 5,500 pounds. So I'm well under the weight for that. That was very important to me, to be very well under the weight of my towing, my maximum towing capacity, because I do tow through, the Rockies, which is going to be your hardest obstacle if you're towing, meaning because you've got the steep inclines and steep declines sometimes, and you need to make sure you have enough power for that so you don't mess up your transmission or your engine. So I was just really super careful with that. So I just wanted to make sure I got something lightweight. So Scamp fit that bill. The ability to customize it as much as I did fit that bill. I like that it doesn't look like your typical RV type layout stuff. Maybe that sounds weird, but I put a backsplash on here, and I was able to customize and put these like curtain rod and curtains up here. I know you can do these in some of the other things, but I just felt like there's a lot of customization that I could do in here and really make it my own. And I don't know, it's just super cute. The other thing too is the fiberglass. This thing lasts forever. If you go on and look at like people who are selling Scamps, they're selling them from like back in the 1900s. That sounds funny. Like, I'm gonna say like 1920s. They weren't around then, but not that I don't think they were. But at least like let's say 70s, 80s. There's a lot of them out there, and they keep their value. So they're just good trailers, and you can if you find a used one, you can go in and fix it up really easily. There's just a lot of things that you can do. It's so versatile. So I think that's why I really liked it. So because it's fiberglass, it's very lightweight, it's very well insulated in here, holds up really well during cold weather. It's actually done very well in the hot weather too. It even much better than it did the van. The van was like a tin can. So yeah, I feel like it's much cooler even in the heat. All right, we have more questions. Wow, there's been a lot coming out here. Sorry. You use that iron pan when cooking. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I've never been successful with them. What do you do to make it nonstick? Oh, you're talking about I think you're talking about this one. Yeah, this I love. This is from Field Company. Wait, this way? Yeah, Field Company. I have a link for this. Guys, this is my favorite pan ever. And it's a cast iron skillet. I've gone through several cast irons. It's true to their word that it's pretty nonstick when you get it. It's already seasoned. You still have to season it, but yeah, it's lovely. It's amazing. It cooks everything really well. As far as seasoning, I use grapeseed oil or avocado oil, and I just make there's a whole lot I could say about that, but I mean, it's hard to go into complete detail, but mostly every time I cook, I do not use any soap in it, but I do use water, and sometimes I'll boil water in it to kind of get food particles and stuff up out of it. But then after I'm cleaned it all up, I just put a thin layer of oil in it. I heat the stove up, let it heat up a little bit just to where it's smoking, and then I turn off the stove and I wipe it down where it almost feels like it's going to be dry, where you're wiping all of the oil out, but you don't want that oil to sit on top because it'll get kind of sticky. You don't want that. So just get a paper towel, wipe all that down. And that's what's worked for me. I just kind of season it after every use. And the more you use it, the better it is. A lot of times people say, like the first time I used it, I sauteed onions in it. For some reason, sauteing onions in oil really helps to build the seasoning on it. Cooking bacon in it helps to build the seasoning. Cooking meats in it, anything with fat helps to really build that seasoning. So using it every day really helps. I know some people who say like the best thing for them with their pan, it took like 2 years to really get it to where they wanted it to. I wouldn't say that about this pan. I feel like I'm there with it, but it's great. And I have a link for that in my description box of this video, so you can buy that if you want from Field Company. It's just an amazing pan. Let's see. Someone says, I suppose you have figured out how to take Georgie to France with you. Yes, I have figured that out. It's not easy, but I have figured it out. I haven't decided if I'm going just yet, but we'll see. Okay. All right, back to the questions. I know this is getting long. It's 12:30 my time, so we've been on here an hour and a half, so I appreciate everybody being here. I know sometimes I don't like them to get this long, but I really wanted to go through all of your questions. Okay. Do you have East Coast plans in the future? I do not have any plans right now. Someone said, can you please address the reports of other channels? Let me back up. Can you please address the reports that other channels are posting regarding harassment because of living the full-time RV lifestyle? I haven't seen any of those, so I don't know. When I got that question, I kind of like briefly went out to look to see if I could find any YouTube videos about that, but I didn't really find anything. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. But I personally haven't been harassed in this, with RVing. If anybody knows of maybe what they're talking about, maybe leave me a comment and let me know. But I don't really know. Unless maybe it's in the urban area. I mean, I know some people are not liking van lifers being in neighborhoods. So maybe that's it. Okay. Let's see. Did you order the Scamp or buy one already made? What is the weight and what weight can your car tow package? So, okay. I ordered the Scamp. I did try to buy one, a used one, and I just really couldn't find what I wanted. And then, so I just ended up buying it online. And it was in the middle of winter, so it only took about a month for them to build it before I could go pick it up. So there wasn't much of a wait. So that wasn't a big deal. And then I could customize everything I wanted on it, which was kind of nice. You work with a person there in the office and the sales guy, and they help you, like they give you like a sheet of everything you can customize with all the prices and everything. And you just kind of pick what you want. And then you sign off on the final build, kind of like, if you're going to buy a house and you sign off on all of the things that you don't want all the customizations. It's kind of similar to that. So I know I mentioned this earlier. Dry, the Scamp weighs 1,450 pounds. Wet, meaning everything inside of it, is 1,850 pounds. Tow package on the SUV is 5,500 pounds because it's a 4-wheel drive. If you get a Ford Explorer that is not 4-wheel drive, it does not tow 5,500 pounds. I think it's only 4,500, maybe 5,000 pounds, something like that. But I ended up getting 4-wheel drive because I knew I would probably use it. So, yeah. Let me look at questions over here now. You guys are amazing. Still here. We got 170 people still here. Thank you, everybody. My gypsy adventure. If you ever sell your Scamp, keep me on your list. Well, you should probably email me. More to come on that. I don't want to give everything away here. And it's not because I don't like the Scamp. I'm not saying that. But a few things might be changing. Okay. I feel like I just saw a question about Georgie. Where did it go? My belongings in storage. Sorry, I get lost on these comments on here. The thing scrolls too much. Oh, so my gypsy adventure, send me an email, amber@storychasing.com. Oh, here it is. I thought I saw it. Robin Idlewild says, question mark, star. How, I think it's supposed to say, in the world did you find another sweet dog? I got lucky. You guys, like, some people may or may not believe in this. I'm not putting my beliefs on anybody else, but when, so you guys know I had Lily. She was, of course, like the sweetest dog ever. When I had Lily, after she passed away, and I was like getting ready, thinking like, yeah, I might want to get another dog. I was like, praying and saying, Lily, I was talking to Lily in my prayers. It's like, Lily, like, you know what I want, you know what I need, you know the kind of dog I need in my life based on how I travel and all of that. Like, send me that best dog, And so literally within a week, Georgie came up on the foster page, and it literally said that she was good for RVing, a dog good for RVing. And I'm like, I've never seen any like little profile for a foster dog or adopted dog say that. And her name was Belle, and that was Georgie's middle name, or sorry, Lily's middle name was Belle, Lily Belle, Belle, and Georgie's name was Belle, Belle. So I don't know. It just seemed not a coincidence at all. And yeah, I just found the good one. She was in foster too, so you can talk to the foster mom and they can tell you like what their temperament is and just all the things about them because they've been able to get to know them. So I lucked out for sure. I really did. She's a sweet girl. Ian says that Cheap RV Living posted a video about it. I'm assuming you meant about the harassment, so I'll have to take a look at that. I haven't seen it yet. V. Rodriguez says, how did you hear about the scamp? Originally, and I think Ian below that put Elsa and Baron. Yeah, Elsa Ray and Baron were the first people. They have a YouTube channel. Elsa Ray and Baron had a YouTube channel that showed their scamp adventures, and that's originally how I found out about Scamp and saw them living in it. They had far less luxuries in theirs than I do, but they put in like a really cool wood burning stove. But they did a lot of camping in the winter in Colorado and the snow and things like that. So that was definitely ideal for them to do that. Okay. V. Rodriguez says, we get the dogs we need versus the dogs we think we want. They find us. True. I always feel like our dogs save us. We don't save them. But yeah, she's a doll. I just love her. Okay. Do you feel proficient and confident backing up the scamp? If so, any tips to getting there? If not yet, what do you think will help to get there? I feel confident, yeah. It does take practice. I watched a lot of YouTube videos, and that's really all I can say is just take everything slow, watch some YouTube videos on, which way the steering wheel needs to go. They say like if you put your hands down. See, I'm going to mess it up just saying it. I'm not going to say it. Just watch the YouTube videos on it. It'll tell you how to back up into specific spots, ones that are at an angle, ones that are straight on, how you need to position your tow vehicle and your trailer as you're pulling in to back up into those spaces. So I would watch YouTube videos, but I find it easy now just because I'm so used to it. But again, practice makes perfect. Oh, and I also bought a backup camera. You can, I think Scamp has a backup camera that you can buy when you order it, but like it's permanently situated on there. But I didn't do that. I don't know why I didn't. But anyways, I have a backup camera that's about this big, and it's got an antenna on it, and it connects to my phone through an app while I'm in my SUV, and I just go and stick it on the bumper, and it's a big magnet on the bottom. So I stick it on the bumper of the Scamp, and it allows me to see everything behind me. I also, even with a camera, I first will always go out and look at the space that I'm backing into. I have 2 cones, like orange cones that are pop up. And I go and put those cones in areas where I need to like be careful to go around that edge, don't go any further so I can see them in my mirrors. And that helps kind of guide me when I'm backing up. I also get out of the vehicle a lot sometimes to just check how far back am I, even with the camera, because sometimes even with the camera, it's a little bit hard to sometimes see, like, especially like maybe the sunlight is shining on the camera in a weird way or whatever. You just want to see where you're at, and I don't want to make the mistake of hitting anything. So I get out a lot and go take a look at it and see. So there's that. Let's see. Does your Bluetti power your fridge? Maria says that. It does not. I have a wet cell battery on the front of the Scamp, on the where the jack is. It's just I don't know, it's just a wet cell battery, like a golf cart battery. It's a marine battery. It's small, and I have a portable solar panel that connects to that when I'm boondocking, and then otherwise, if I'm plugged into electric, it powers it from that. But when I bought the Scamp, they used to have 3-way refrigerators from Dometic that they would put in here. Dometic, from what I understand at the time, stopped either making or producing the type of refrigerator that needed to go into the Scamp that was a 3-way fridge. And the 3-way fridge, if you're not familiar, is electric, DC, and propane. And it can run off all 3 of those depending on your needs. Come on, Georgie, stay over, baby. And they didn't have 3-way then, so it's fully DC at this point. And so I wish it had propane. It worked off of propane because it would be a lot better. I wouldn't have to really think about it running out of power. But I've never had an issue with the portable solar panels with it running out of power. Even on cloudy days, it's only a 100-watt portable solar panel too, by the way. It keeps it charged all day long. I don't have any issues. And usually if I don't have any power coming in, like let's say I have no solar, no electric, nothing, this refrigerator can last, I'd say, about 3 days on the low. I keep it on the low setting for coolness. It can last about 3 days. So I like that. And then what else was I going to say about it? I guess that's it. Anyways, so if I had the propane, it would be just better because I wouldn't have to worry about power. I just have to worry about powering the lights and stuff in here. Okay. Karen says, great question. What is your total tow weight? 1,850 pounds. Hello, Angela from Northwest Florida. Glad you're here. Travel with Charity says, have a great day, everyone. Thanks for coming in here. Traveling with Charity. I appreciate it. Okay, more. Do you miss van life? I always love this question. Do you miss van life? Any plans to go back to van? No plans to go back into van life. Do I miss it? There's some things, I miss about it. I miss like the convenience aspect of it. I know I've said this in videos and maybe some of you have missed them. So I'll just go ahead and kind of reiterate it here. I love my van. I didn't sell it because I hated it. I just sold it because I wanted something different. And I was leaning towards getting a trailer for a long time. So I love the trailer. I love the comfortability of it. It suits me. So van life, the only part that I miss about it is being able to go places a little bit quicker and not have to worry about towing the trailer and kind of looking ahead and making sure I can get into where I needed to go, or if I need to turn around, something like that. So that's the only part that I probably miss about it, to be honest. The way my van was, it wasn't super convenient for storage. It was really hard to access storage, and there's some things I just didn't like about it. I've always saying like I want to customize it. I wanted to take the bathroom out. Like there's just things that I wanted to do different. And I think I got all the things that I wanted in this Scamp. So I feel like this was kind of my ultimate, if you will, customized version of an RV that I really thought would be good for me. Okay. Someone said, I thought this was so cute. What is Georgie's favorite thing to do? Well, let's see. Eat is her number one thing. She loves to eat. You guys have seen her latest criminal acts of stealing food off of the counter. It's gotten worse, by the way. she has decided that she could completely jump up on top and go over to the stove and find out if there's anything in the pan over there. I mean, it cracks me up. It's funny. I don't know. I mean, I kind of knew that might happen because the bed is butted right up against the counter. But I don't know, it just is what it is. But it's funny. So she loves to eat. She loves to sleep, especially if she can find a sunny spot. What else? Oh, chew on. She loves. I have a bone for her that she chews on, so she loves to chew on a bone. I took notes on what she loves. Oh, and her favorite thing too is also like when we're driving, she sticks her head out the window, or if we're going too fast, which I don't let her stick her head out the window if we're going too fast because I don't want debris and things getting into her eyeballs. So she'll put her head like if this is the edge of the window, she'll put her little head like right here. It's so cute. So it's inside, but she can still sniff outside. So yeah, that's her favorite things. All right, we're coming to the end of all my questions. Someone said, how did you wind up in Washington being from Texas? So let's see. I traveled to Washington. I was married at the time. In 2001, I had always, my husband and I at the time had always wanted to move to the Pacific Northwest. It was a dream of ours. And so we ended up moving there in 2001, and I stayed there until I started traveling in 2017. So yeah, I love it there. How are your friends from Canada? I believe I forgot their names, but you stayed at their house. So I think you're talking about Mark and Grant in New York. They're wonderful. They're good. They still have their home, and I actually went out there last year when I first bought the Scamp and got it kind of all fixed up. I traveled over to see them on the East Coast, and that's when I was looking to figure out where to live, and I was thinking about moving to the East Coast. So I took Scamp out there, which I didn't show any of that. I wasn't really filming very much at that point, but I love New England. I love that whole area, and you never know. Still might be a possibility. I would love to move closer to them because we're so close. They're like my brothers, and I'm like the little sister that they never had. I don't think they have one. But yeah, we're pretty close. But they're doing good. They have their dogs and their 3 dogs, and yeah, everybody's good. All right. Let's see. Hello, outdoorsy by nature. You'll have to catch up for sure. Thank you, everybody who's here and need to go. Give me a thumbs up on your way out for sure. Thanks, everybody, for mentioning that. Appreciate it. Okay, let's see. I already answered that question. Are you happy? What brings you joy and happiness? I love these questions. That's interesting. It's funny. I had to really think about that. Am I happy? So yes, I am happy most of the time. I mean, yes, we all have our moments where we're not feeling so happy, or something happens like this SUV thing that happened where it broke down, or when I was so hot in certain areas. Not always completely happy then, but I don't know. I feel like we kind of make our own happiness too, right? And I I try to just get through it as best as I can and figure out what that silver lining is. So yeah, I feel like I'm a pretty positive person, and try to present that, of course, on here too. And as far as what brings me joy and happiness, there's a lot of things, I guess. I love crafts. I love being creative. I've really thoroughly enjoyed getting back into doing YouTube, connecting with you guys, and that's part of that creativity for me, is going back to videography and filming and editing videos, and the business part of it. Like, I love business, and I love my business. I love, projecting. Like, I'm a numbers girl. I know, surprisingly, as far as the creativity, but I'm a numbers girl. I love a good spreadsheet. Like, I have a spreadsheet for everything. And so yeah, I love just being creative. So building this business, and knitting and cooking, and I mean just anything creative that I can make. I would really love to get into, um I don't know, I want to take some lessons in painting. Like, I love to paint, but I don't feel I'm really good at it. Like, I have a lot to learn, but I love it. I love mixing the colors. I love painting. Like, all of those things bring me joy. And then this whole part of my life, this is a very new chapter in my life. I started it when I started traveling in 2017, where I was slowing down. It was the, slowing down from corporate life, not feeling like I always have to be doing something, and or being so rigid, because I was very rigid in a lot of ways, and it was part of what corporate life kind of built me into. And I have been slowly letting that go, and it's taken a long time because I've had a very long career in corporate America, and so I think, paring things down and simplifying, and this whole, slow living. And when I think of slow living, to me, it's intentional. It's not just about, not moving from place to place, for, every month, or slowing that part down. It's also about thinking about your choices and being very intentional with what you bring into your life, what you say yes to, what you say no to. I probably say no to things more often than I say yes to. Partly because, like, I don't think I want to work as hard as I did before. I'm going to have enough work with YouTube, which is why one of the questions before was, do you have a side hustle? But this is it. And it keeps me busy. So these things make me happy, and definitely bringing that level of, what is the word? Just like having the side hustles all the time, and having, go, go, go all the time, bringing that down where I can have more peace and calm has felt so, so good to my soul. I journal a lot now, which I was a little bit more sporadic before, but I journal a lot now. I really enjoy writing, and that helps me to really get in touch with, um, things that I'm thinking about, decisions that I'm making in my life. It helps me to get perspective. I know somebody had asked you, like, what is one of the things that's different for me as I'm losing weight? And uh, some of you may or may not know this, but I've expressed it a little bit here and there in my channel, but I am definitely an emotional eater. And by what I mean by that is I'm triggered by stress. It's mostly stress. I'm very much triggered by stress to want to eat food. I've been that way my whole life, and I have managed that a lot with journaling. And I have notes. I don't let you guys see them in here because they're personal to me, but I'll have sticky notes that will say, like, something like, I'll just give you a small example. Like, if I'm feeling stressed about something and I want to eat, I write a note that says, Amber, how are you going to feel after you eat that? Because a lot of times if I eat something that's not really good for me, I don't feel good anymore. I actually have a physical reaction to it, but my emotional and mental health is also degraded when I eat something that I really shouldn't have eaten, or if I ate more than I should have eaten, all because I'm in a stressed situation. So I put little reminders to myself to make sure that I don't do those things. So those are things that are really, really helping me, not only with bringing more peace and calm into my head and my body, but also in my weight loss. So thank you for asking those questions. All right, the last one is, do you plan on buying property somewhere as a home base? Eventually, I will. I haven't decided on anything with that just yet. So, okay. Those are all the questions that you guys had submitted to me. So I'm going to kind of go back through some questions I had here. And then we have like 7 more minutes left before it's top of the hour. So we probably will try to wrap it up then. That'll be a good 2 hours. Is that right? 2 hours for this video? Yeah, 2 hours. Okay. Thank you guys so much for being here. I feel like I'm just talking away, which I guess is the reason why we're all here, right? To hear me talk. Let's see. She took the long way home. Not sure if this is still live or what I missed. Also, I'm in a bad cell service area, but wanted to know how the car is, what you ended up with. So yes, I'm still live, just about to come off. The SUV is still in the shop. They can't see it until September the 15th to even diagnose what the problem is. So I don't know. I don't have any more answers other than that right now. I'm taking it day by day. Tura, thank you. She's still alive. Or she's still alive. She's still alive is how I read that. Yes, I'm still alive, but yes, I'm live. Deborah says, hi, Amber. Hello. Good to see you. V. Rodriguez, love this live chat. Great idea. Looking forward to the next one. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. I haven't done one in so long. It's been a really, really long time. So I appreciate everybody being here. I'm glad you guys have stuck with me for this 2 hours. Jojo, I just started a sort of intermittent fasting where I don't eat snacks nor anything after 7 p.m. and I've lost 6 pounds so far. That's amazing. Excuse me. That's really amazing. It's not easy. I do intermittent fasting as well, a little bit. Sometimes I don't eat dinner. I try to eat like my biggest meal, either breakfast or lunch. And then I eat something like really light for dinner, if I have dinner. And then, yeah, I break my fast in the morning with coffee. I just have to have my coffee. Love it. Helen Jennings, have you toured BC, Canada? Also, where do you go in the winters? Helen, I have been in BC, not in, surprisingly, have I? No, I have not been to BC in the RV. None of my RVs, actually. That's weird. I've been to Whistler before because I lived in Seattle. So I've been to Whistler numerous times. Did I go through? Well, I went through BC, I think a little bit, maybe a corner of it on my way to Alaska. But no, haven't really toured around there very much. I love BC though. I've been to Quebec and Nova Scotia mainly as far as really sightseeing. Been through Alberta and Ontario a little bit as well. As far as winters, I usually go down south to Arizona. Quartzsite, a lot of people go to Yuma, Tucson, Phoenix a little bit, SoCal, and then Baja, Mexico. So I don't know. That's usually where we all end up. Arlene says, what is the difference between the Scamp or an Airstream? The Scamp is fiberglass as far as the body. The Airstream is metal. And let's see what else. It's more built like, I don't know, how would I describe it? It's just different. It's really pretty. It's sleek. It has probably sleeker features in there than I would say the Scamp does. The Scamp is a little bit maybe like, people would call it like, some of the moldings in here like are fiberglass, and then they have like wood cabinets and stuff that go into them. So it's, I don't know, it's just different, but it's heavier as well, and I think that it's probably, I would say, I don't know if I would say even better quality. I don't want to use that word because the Scamp is still really good, but the finishings are probably a little bit better. But I like the Scamp. I don't know, like it doesn't have any problems for me. I like that I can customize it so much. So I don't know, it's a hard one. Karen says, do more live chats. Yes, I think I will too. Okay. Karen says, sorry, typing on a tablet. We would love more live chats. Waving hello from Arizona. Hello. Time for me to go, and I'll be tuning in. Enjoy the journey. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're here. You asked a lot of great questions. And I hope that you were safe in Arizona. I don't know that I saw that haboob that came through the other day. Was it 2 days ago? Yeah, 2 days ago on the 25th. That was insane. That huge sandstorm. Whoa, that was crazy. Okay. Let's see. Industrial exit. You guys have some long usernames here. Industrial exit strategist 2020. What is plan B if the Ford dealer says this issue will take 6 months to fix? How long will you embrace the wait? Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge. Well, I will not be waiting around for it. That is for sure. Loosely what I've been thinking of. So the area that I'm in gets snow in the winter. And that will most likely be coming, because I'm at a high elevation, that most likely will be coming in October-ish, I'm guessing. So I have to be out of here at least with the Scamp before that happens, because I have no matter where you go in this area, you have to go over a mountain pass. And I am not one for traversing mountain passes in snowy weather. So plus, like, a lot of times they say you have to have chains and snow tires or you could be ticketed. It's for safety purposes. So I will have to be out of here before then, no matter what. So I would have to rent a truck and get out of here. So the other thing is, if they take 6 months or whatever, right now we're actually looking at potential lemon law issues, because this is now the codes that were pulled. 2 of the codes there's 5 codes that are coming up for the issue of the SUV. 2 of which are the same codes that came up when I had the issue in Oregon just recently, and they had to replace the relay switch. Same 2 codes. So I'm not sure if those 2 codes are related definitely to that relay switch, or was it something else and it was just in addition to the relay switch. So I don't really know. They haven't even figured out what's wrong with it. So I can't wait for 6 months, that's for sure. They're only paying for 10 days of a rental, even though they would, if they had it for 6 months, they wouldn't pay for that for a car for me. So I would go for the lemon law at that point. I don't know. You say LOL, so sweet. Yeah. I mean, it's outrageous, is it not, to have a brand new vehicle that's having these issues? It literally shut down on me while I'm driving, and that it was shaking. It was shaking. I couldn't drive it, and it wouldn't accelerate. And I'm going up a mountain pass. Barely. I just started going up it. So, yeah, I can't wait. So yeah, lemon law will go into effect then. I don't know. I never dealt with that before, but we'll see what happens. Okay. The Scamp is affordable and super cute, says JoJo. Yes, I agree. It is very, oh, that was the other thing. Yeah, a difference between the Airstream. It is more affordable. And Ian says, I like the Airstream base camp, but they are not inexpensive. That is true. That's another reason. I ended up, thankfully, I was able to pay for this one in cash. I mean, because I sold my van too. So I was able to pay for this one in cash because it was cheap. And I know you guys always ask these questions too. I'm not trying to throw like money and what I have around or anything like that, but I know people ask all the time. So I'm very, very frugal, by the way, very frugal. I like to live well beneath my means. I've always been that way, even though I could afford more house or more apartment or whatever. I don't like it. I like being comfortable. I like living well beneath my means. So I have extra money to go do the things that I want to do or buy something nice or create moments. So this Scamp, with everything that I did to it, was $22,000, which is way more affordable than an Airstream or pretty much anything out there as far as a trailer is concerned. So it gives you a little kind of insight as to how affordable something like this can be if you want a home, and tow it around. So, and these things last for a very long time, very long. Got to take care of it. I feel like, you know what? I think I missed some questions. I just realized that there was a question about maintenance. Somebody asked me about maintenance. Yeah, I know we're past the top of the hour now, but they asked about the maintenance on this. And yeah, maintenance on the Scamp. So it's pretty easy. You do, like with any RV or van, you have to check the seals around any place where a hole has been put into the shell. And because they seal it, and they put an AC in there, they put a furnace vent, a refrigerator vent, a water hose, inlet, outlet, whatever, all of those things, right? So they put a seal around it. So you just have to check your seals and make sure they're still good. If they're not, you reseal it. That's pretty easy. These have windows they're called weep holes, and it's just like this little bitty slot in each of the windows. It's a little hole. And I just get a can of air with a long hose on it, and I stick that hose into the weep holes and spray it out with a can of air. And that keeps everything from being clogged, because if you don't unclog it, when it rains, if those weep holes are clogged with dirt or debris or anything in there and it rains, the rain has nowhere to go. That's what the weep holes are for. So the rain will then collect in those weep holes and will drain down into the inside of your Scamp. So you don't want that. So just keep them clean. I clean them out like once a month. And they've never been clogged, but I just still run it through there. It takes all of like a couple of minutes to do that. The other thing that I do is, I haven't done this yet. Actually, I've noticed that there's a little bit of rust on my jack and the foot of the jack. So I need to address that. It's minor. They all do it. I just need to get some Rust-Oleum. I need to like kind of scrape all of that off, get some Rust-Oleum put on there. And I think there's a paint. Someone has it. There's another lady that has a Scamp YouTube channel, and she talks about like what you need, but it's kind of like a 2-in-1 Rust-Oleum almost, where it's a black paint and the rust prevention, and you can do all of that at once. So that's probably the route that I'm going to go. So that's something that you have to pay attention to, any metal surface. Then I wipe down the outside of it. They suggest a marine wash and a marine wax because it is fiberglass. And so it's a spray bottle. I do go through like a self pay or self car wash, the nozzle that you spray it yourself. I do that. And then I wipe it down when I am done with all of that and just give it a little I can't even talk, a light layer of wax for that. So that's pretty much it with a microfiber cloth. Pretty easy. The Max Air Fan, with any RV, same thing with this one. It's got a little screen that easily unattaches, and you can just spray it off outside with some water. That gets cleaned very easily. These hinges, in some of my earlier videos, in fact, someone pointed out to me, they're like, oh my gosh, can you WD-40 those hinges? Because they were squeaky. So little things like that you might come across. I've never had anything break in here, come loose. Nothing yet. I'm trying to think. I don't think I have. No, I haven't. Yeah, so that's pretty much it inside here. Check the seals. I already talked about that. Oh, one big thing. So here's a difference between the at least I know on the Airstream versus, and it's probably other trailers as well, versus the Scamp, is the Scamp actually has wheel bearings that you have to grease and also repack. So I don't know. I'm not going to pretend that I know what all RVs or trailers are like and how often you have to grease them or repack them. But Scamp says for our wheels that you have to grease the wheel bearings every 5,000 miles and repack them every 10,000 miles. So I did that. I was in New York last year when I had to repack them. I was at 5,000 miles. Or not, sorry, not repack them, grease them. So I just had that. It's that red tacky grease you can get at any auto store, and then a grease gun, and you take the seal off of the cap of the wheel, and you just gently, not crazily, you gently squeeze the gun. 2 shots of grease in there. That's it. You don't want to do too much because you can apparently like blow out the seal on the back. So you just want to be really careful. You just put 2 pumps of grease in there, put the seal back on, and you're good. And then you have to repack them every 10,000 miles. And I just did that when I was in Oregon. I just took it to a Les Schwab that does all kinds of things with RVs and trailers and cars and tires and alignments and all of that. And I don't know if they're out on the East Coast, honestly, but I know they're very predominant on the West Coast and parts of the South. So Les Schwab was great for doing that. And repack those. It cost me, I think, $175 to repack the wheel bearing. So every 10,000 miles for that. And so far, that's all of the maintenance that I've had to do. That's the big bulk of it, to be honest with you. Yeah. Okay. Let me see if there's any other questions on here, and then we will wrap it up. Ian says, you would think Ford would have the Explorer figured out by now. It's not like it's a new model. I know, I agree, but I don't know. I think they're always updating like electronics and stuff. They just had a huge recall on 2025's powertrain. I know, kind of crazy. David Peter says Ford stands for fix or repair daily. I would give me a Toyota pickup. I had a Ford Explorer before and it was perfectly fine. I know a lot of people who have Fords and they've been fine, so that's why I went with Ford. I don't really know about their cars so much, but their trucks and their SUVs have been great, at least in my experience. So this is new for me. But I don't know, David, you could be onto something. Mary says, Amber, you look amazing and healthy. You handle stress well. Oh, Mary, you haven't seen behind the scenes. Tori could tell you. I've cried on her shoulder a couple of times. I do. Sometimes I get very stressed and I do well with talking it out with people. That's my mode of dealing with stress. So, but thank you for that. Ian says, even new Toyotas are not what they used to be. I've had a few coworkers with Toyotas and Lexus, and they have definitely had a lot of warranty issues. Yeah, I know. Kind of crazy. Industrial exit strategist says, wow, 5,000 miles, add axle bearing grease. Oh, is that weird? I don't know. I've never had a trailer before, but that's what they tell us. Julia says, I can't wait for you to decide if you're going to France. Hopefully, if you would keep the videos. Watching them in another country would be exciting. Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's my only form of income. So I'm keeping it up no matter what I do. Ian, I'm used to that with my classic cars, typical for old style wheel bearings. New cars have sealed bearings. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Yeah, I don't like it. I want the sealed. It's so much easier. And then industrial, I'm just going to say industrial, says, thank you so much for sharing your story knowledge. You're so welcome. Okay, that is it. I'm done. All your questions have been answered. We've been a little over 2 hours, so thank you everybody for being here. I really, oh my gosh, I don't know why I keep like kind of burping almost in my throat. Sorry. I really appreciate everybody being here, and yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate everybody like resubscribing, because I know I took some time off and came back, and I feel so much better. I just, yeah, I think I've finally figured out like kind of my way of keeping that creative spark no matter what I'm doing, how I'm traveling, what I'm living in, whatever's going on. And you guys have been a big part of that, you know, so I appreciate you guys all very much. And I appreciate you showing up every week. You guys are so cool. And you've helped me out so much as I've gone on this adventure and answered questions for me and helped me out and suggested things. So thank you, everyone. Thank you. All right. Let's see. Thank you, Tura. Tura. Oh my gosh, your name. I cannot. I'm so sorry. She says it's TJ Jones on here, but her name is Tura. She says it's pronounced like pure, but with a T. Tura. Okay. I am going to go. Thank you guys. All right. Have a great rest of your week. I will keep you updated on what's happening with the SUV and where I'm going next and all of that. I got a video coming out this Saturday, so don't miss that one, please. And give me a thumbs up. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. All right, guys. Bye.